Pride today on the amateur Oceanic Esports today, and our first map is this Oasis, as you could probably see. I'd hope.
Fingers crossed. It'd probably make it pretty interesting if it was on a totally different map.
I mean, yeah, we want some big sun action, you know.
Be convenient. So just waiting for all the players to get ready and prepared.
Just looking through the rosters. Hoping there's going to be a good game today.
I'd say it should be.
Nice and even.
Yeah.
These gamers get their bread.
Yep.
Should be going in soon.
Okay. So are there any standout players you're looking for at the moment, Pegma?
Oh, I'm feeling Audium.
Audium? Yeah.
That's from Pride, and I'm thinking Vectrix from Vectrix from PPE.
Okay, we'll have to make sure to keep an eye out for those two fellows.
Have a look.
See whether they're about to bring the juice.
Under a Salt and Vinegar has his daily dose of salt and vinegar.
Let's hope so. But let's hope there's not much salt going on in the game.
Yep.
So it's best of 5, isn't it, I believe?
I think it is, yep. So it'd be 3, and then if they're drawn, they would go to the 5th game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I feel like that's how it works. Still organizing their game, having good fun in the lobby waiting.
Ready for this game.
Yep.
Again,
Gonna be
PPE Ascend versus Pride.
Should be super hype.
And we are going in now.
Okay.
Welcome to Oasis.
Starting with Oasis.
Initiating match.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see what comps they go for.
That it should be. Hopefully we don't see just the same comp every game.
It's just looking like they're gonna run the same comp except for the.
Okay. So it's very interesting comps come out. Looking like we at this point almost a mirror match, where we have one team going with the what do we got? So we've got So we have Pride pulling out the Moira at the moment, whereas PPE is deciding to go with the Ana Mercy combo instead of the Moira Mercy. We've got Sombras on both teams, so should hopefully see some hacks going on. Should be good.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
Alrighty. The team's coming in. What are your thoughts on these comps before the match? Before we get into the action?
I'm feeling a very good feeling about the team comps. Good battle. Look at the Sombra, just power paper, just looking at what the enemy team has.
Got to get that early info.
Ellie looks in.
So we got a
Ellie hacked in on the Mercy.
very, very huge, very huge. Okay, we got the tanks going at it as FTS Braden goes down. That's huge. And Power Peaker, they've lost their Mercy, but they're winning this fight. All coming up. Got the Farron and the Sky just dealing damage. Huge sleep onto the Reinhardt. Okay, as it pushed into the corner, very interesting. Pride has pulled out this first fight as Dragon Flare is trying to back out and regroup with his team.
Power Keeper's gone around, flanking around behind, looking for the peaks.
Sombra is getting really good information for the team with just running around behind invisible. It's one of the most important parts about being Sombra is just being able to get that info relayed back so you know where they're coming from.
And here's the start of the team fight.
Okay.
First
we got the
pick
fun.
on the Reinhardt.
The huge pick by FTS Braden that should almost... Oh, the res comes off from Escott. It's back to an even fight. And the Pride has control of the point. Huge hammer. Absolutely massive. Taking down a bunch of the team. Middle NATO taking down his counterpart.
So it looks like Pride's gonna reset.
Yeah. It was a massive fight and didn't give up control of the point. It's 60-0 at the moment.
Alt count still pretty balanced. Except Pride's just getting their Mercy ult now. With PPE just using the Mercy ult.
Alrighty. So the shield battle is going on again. Huge EMP. Gets the hammer down onto the Pharaoh, but getting pocketed by the Mercy. The charge kill works out. And as we go back over, as we come over and look at it, a barrage coming from the back line from Latte, but it doesn't collect anything. The Zarya is low in the middle. Are they going to get the cleanup and the swap? It's just the Moira left on point now.
Is it going to be a hard stagger on the Moira?
Oh, can they kill
there
it?
it is. Huge.
They get her. That's massive at this point. 98% left. So they basically have to hold it for the entire time, because if the other team, aka Pride, gets one team fight win, they win this map. So we'll be seeing a lot of defensive plays. And Audium gets the early hack onto FTS Braden, so he's got to pull back very hard so that he doesn't get destroyed.
Is getting absolutely destroyed from the Pharaoh right now. Absolutely battered from all these rockets.
As the Valk comes out from Elementix, that should help sustain the team a bit with that huge healing, but the EMP comes out. Massive counter out. 3 in the Shatter and the Pharaoh ult. They're wanting to clean this one up quick. So we got Power Peaker hiding underneath, just trying to see what's going on. Are they going to be able to contest? Alright. So not able to contest. That's unfortunate as Pride takes map 1.
PPE need to see what they can do to change it up a bit so they can get the next round. Otherwise it's all over for them.
Ready for battle.
It was a very nice hacks coming out in that game where it's just sort of the Rhines, they were just hacked half the time. It was really interesting to see. Okay, so as we're coming into map 2, is there much changes? So Latte's changed off of the Pharaoh onto the Doomfist. Now FTS Braden's on the Winston, and on Pride we've just swapped the Mercy for a Lucio.
I'm surprised PPE still haven't gone for a hit scan yet.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, but sort of if they're both fighting for this high ground, then it should favour the Winston with this movement. So we got early hacks coming out. The Sombra's hacked the other Sombra. It's all over the place. We got
now it's a fight for the high ground.
The fight begins, and we have PPE Ascend trying to take the high ground first, but then just getting told, nope, that is ours. We're keeping it. Back to spawn with you.
Pretty quick cap there from PPE.
Extremely clean fight. as we're waiting, are they going to change anything up on the side of PPE Ascend, or are they going to come back in the same?
It looks like Doomfist might be changing. Yep.
Yeah, they've changed the Farah, so they're going to be running the pharmacy back into it, which is very, very, very smart comp for this map, especially into the Rhine Zarya, because there's not much there to really be able to get to you. As Winston dives in, doing some damage, but the Mercy's trying to heal it up as much as they can. Huge shatter, absolutely massive. Only one they didn't get was a D.Va, but she's all in the back line on her own. And I believe this is another team fight win for Pride.
Another reset they have to do.
Looking absolutely clean this round. Alrighty, so as we're coming in for another fight, we've got Latte swapped over to the Widowmaker to try and deal with that pharmacy in the sky. Hopefully the shots land.
Oh, it looks like the Sombra's gone around behind to get a hack on the Widow.
Okay, the hacks come off. Can Sombra finish it up though? That's the real question. Decides to back out and stay safe, keep himself alive, which is the smart play because they have that EMP up. And here it comes. There we go. Huge EMP and grab into it.
EMP on EMP.
That's another team fight one. Just that grab just cemented that fight for them.
So both teams' EMPs have been used in that team fight.
That's how it's done.
And their PPE is only going to be able to stagger here. They're not going to get one full team fight left. They've nano boosted the Widowmaker, and the res on Winston's huge, especially if they can get a pocket onto him, because then he'll just be able to clean up in the back line.
That Reinhardt was asleep for like a second, but got woken back up by the D.Va.
Okay, they managed to cancel the res out, which is huge in this stage because they can effectively turn it around, and they have. That was an extremely close team fight there, but Pride takes it out, and it's sort of all.
And they got a hard stagger on that Farah now.
Massive stagger.
And they have. Never mind.
Okay, as we're coming back in, they have so Pride has a shadow coming online, but here comes the hack onto the Reinhardt with the D.Va bomb. Huge 4K.
There is a reset.
Massive.
There is a hard reset there.
That's what they need at this stage. They cannot give up a single second on that point after it's flipped. So massive plays like that are what's needed. Just great communication from the Sombra to the D.Va player there as they hack the Reinhardt to get rid of the shield. Top level plays.
That is tier 1 plays there.
Okay. So we got Latte now on the Tracer trying to deal with the backline. Gets hacked by the Sombra. This is a really tricky fight for that. Let's see how it goes. The whole team's rotating around as FTS Braden gets taken out into traffic. Didn't look both ways before he crossed. And
that is a sad, devastating loss from them.
That's just not what you want to see. So as the fight comes in, it looks like Pride has the advantage here, but it could all be turned around. They've nano boosted Dragon Flare on the D.Va just to sort of sustain a little bit longer as everyone comes back in, and
they're getting suppressed back. Oh, Shadow is used.
Shadow comes out, but it only gets the D.Va mech, and she was already D-meching there anyway, so it didn't get as much value as it needed to in that fight. But the grab comes in, it's a huge grab, 4-man, but the Reinhardt gets slept, EMP comes out, just to solidify the fact that they're retaking the point and taking this game.
That could be it. If the that is it. That is game.
That is that game completed, round over. Pride takes it 2-0. Very good plays by both teams, but it's just Pride was able to hold out longer. What are your thoughts?
It was definitely the Farah game. Farah in the fights, you know, getting those picks early, especially with Pride getting those picks off early.
Definitely, definitely. Just having the Sombra communication there, like to be able to pull off some of the plays which we saw there, it's just they were just on point, calling out who was hacked and where they were, and that's what you need in organized game players. It's just you need to have that communication going back and forth, so you know when to drop stuff.
Definitely the chemistry that you definitely need that.
Definitely, 100%. It was a very good game on both sides, though. There was huge plays. Just the counterplay was there, and that's what you want to see.
It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, PPE are able to gain a map here.
It'd be good to see because we're coming into Junkertown, and that's the assault map, and now pretty much this map can be really hard to attack if you get stopped at the first point. So it'll be really interesting to see sort of what comps they're going to run and how they're going to play it, and whether they're just going to straight up bring out the cheddar cheese, or if they're going to go for something a little bit more conventional.
Yeah. I'm feeling that. As we are moving in now, seeing these
Initiating match.
Alrighty, so we have Pride attack. I believe it's Pride attacking first on this point. Find out in just a second.
Ready for battle.
So we've got Pride attacking first, and they seem to be running the same comp as what they did before. They've got the Pharmacy Sombra and running with that Rhine Zarya, so they're going to be setting up for some huge Pharah ults coming in. And on the side of PPE, we've got basically a mirror comp running, but instead of the Pharah, they're running that Hanzo just to try and deal with any sort of cheese setup on the cart, as well as break down that shield, which is really good. It's what Hanzo's really good at now because of his new Stormbow. How are you feeling about these team comps, Pegma?
Good to see Pride is sticking with that Pharah, but we are still getting that Ryan Zarya comp. Wonder if they'll change it up next round.
It'd be interesting to see because Pharmacy works really well on this point, just for the fact that it's so open that you just get all of these sightlines going on.
So it looks like they're flanking around behind, try and get some picks off before they start pushing.
Okay, so they've come through mid small room and they've taken the thing. Oh, both Rhines charge in, but Metal Grenado gets taken down.
That is a reset. They probably shouldn't have done that just then.
Ooh.
Wasn't very conventional.
They get the res off, but it was just nothing really there to back him up. So it's just clean up at the moment. So PPE then just cleaning up the fight really quickly.
But
they are pushing the cart. It's just they haven't got much ground, and after the first team fight.
But Pride is, PPE.
So Pride's coming back in, and they're trying to push the cart as far as they can. It's just whether they're going to try and take the high ground or wait for. And FTS Braden drops down onto him, trying to initiate this fight early.
Ryan just swinging this hammer there. There is the shadow used, and it was blocked by the Zarya bubble.
Oh, it was really good positioning from the Zarya as the Nano Boost comes out into the Rhine just to try and clear up this fight a bit more after the shadow goes down. And that's another team fight won for PPE. They're looking very strong at this point. Like they may first point hold this. If they keep playing the way they're playing, they can definitely hold this down. We do have both teams have their Valkyrie coming up, which should be really interesting to see how aggressively they're going to play off of that.
Definitely.
Okay.
Bit of a blind blind charge there, going in. Lucky you got out of it.
So
from
Foxley
this
gets
mate.
so Foxley gets the res on the Metal Ganado, and then he gets charged in the wall. Huge EMP
There's the
coming
EMP.
out.
And
Shadow.
there's a shatter. See if they can
Here
do
co-
anything with this now. Huge plays there from PP.
That was absolutely massive, using 2 ults to just clean the fight like that, as well as the 3 ults, including the Valkyrie a bit earlier on into the fight. It was sort of they really cleaned that up well and distinctively won that fight. They took it to him.
Huge for Pride. Huge for Pride. Good to see they've made some headway in this battle now.
Alright, so
wave
both
Shadow
grabs
from-
come out. That's huge, and then Hercules with a double with the dragon
I don't know
dragon
if that
strike.
Pharah ult was really necessary just then, but they
It-
still got to
it-
pick.
Didn't even matter. Salt and Vinegar drops the barrage, but then immediately gets slept. They're holding this one out. They really don't want this going down, as Elementix is taking on Audium in the 1v1 as the Mercy.
And they still have the EMP left.
They still have EMP. They're coming up to another Valk, where on the other side, the only ult they're going to have for this next fight is going to be their Valkyrie. So they're going to have to push off it, or they're going to give this map.
They probably will get Shadow back, unless there is an early pick, because they are on 63. 63 on 63.
Alright, as Metal Ganado comes in, early charge onto FTS Braden. That's absolutely huge for him, taking out the main tank and the shield. They're pushing onto Metal Ganado at the moment, and the EMP comes out from Latte.
EMP.
It,
Did it hit anyone?
it got 3, so it got the
Okay.
Reinhardt, and now they weren't able to follow up too much on it though,
No,
as Pride cleans it up.
Yeah, they're just cleaning it up now. Getting rid of all them players. Zarya slept trying to get some extra picks on. Get some staggers. As the team moves up with them.
We have got another Dragon Strike, so let's see if they're going to initiate with this Dragon Strike, or if they're gonna hold on to it until Dragon Flare has his next grab. Which, if Pride keeps shutting him down like this, who knows when that could be. As early pick onto Ventrix comes out from Salt and Vinegar, gets rezzed up by Elementix, so they've
Getting
burnt
the
their
high
res
ground.
early. Okay, and PP is just trying to hold this high ground, and there we go. FTS Braden charges in, but gets it blocked by the bubble, and now he's just stuck in that corner as the
EMP used.
EMP and Shatter coming out, but are they going to be able to clean up off it? Salt and Vinegar gets Dragon Flare with the help of his entire team, and it's just Hercules, Vectrix, and Elementix there. So they've got the 2 supports, and there goes the Hanzo, so it's just going to be clean up on this fight as they push it through to the last point.
Mercy was able to get the res off on the Zarya, which is pretty good. Don't want that walk back.
That was a really clean streets phase on Junkertown. They didn't get stopped, they just kept pushing it through.
I want to see how it turns out on this pint here.
Will be
Second one.
interesting. There's definitely a lot more high ground for those Sombras to be able to play against the Ferrers and
Yeah.
get the
Get those
shots
hacks
easier.
on.
As well as Hercules gets the high ground as well, so he'll be able to shoot down over the top of the shields. So it's just Ferrers shooting into the team, trying to build up another. Got the barrage, so just trying to get those early picks.
Oh, there's the.
And there comes the grab and the
That is gonna-
barrage. Absolutely massive.
That will
Salt
give him
and
some
Vinegar
more push.
taking out the team and himself.
But
That's
gets
the way
res
to go
off.
down.
That is the way.
Yeah.
See
Like-
if they can keep him away, so they can get the full cap.
Okay, so now we've got PPE pushing back in, and early bubble coming out from Dragon Flare, so they're not going to have that to block anything. Fight's about to break out. They need to do something.
Hammer down
Huge
used.
shatter, absolute EMP shatter, and the Nano comes out as well. So now it's just seeing whether FPS Braden can really get much done with that Nano, which he didn't get any picks from it, which is a shame, but Latte took one down. There's the charge onto the Metal Ganado from FTS Braden. He's really trying to just push them back on this point and hold out for as long as he can.
they are definitely going to get reset because they are just. Oh, they are still going in.
And the hack comes out from Latte onto Salt and Vinegar, so he's now dropped down. But he's got both his supports there, so he should get out pretty fine. It's just going to be waiting for the tanks from Pride to come back in before they can really go again for this last tiny bit of map which they've got left.
They are. They're gonna go underneath and try and there's Farah's just gonna come on top. Oh, there is the grab, fat grab, with just the
Right.
100 in it.
Yeah, Grab Dragon comes out, so it's sort of didn't get as much as they would have liked as the Ryan gets res back up. But there's the pick from Latte on Salt and Vinegar, and then the hammer down gets stopped from the EMP. That was massive by Audium.
They are now down a tank and only have Zarya left. Now they're both down both tanks. This should be it.
There we go. Dragon Flare gets the nano just to try and finish up this team fight, and there goes Foxley. So it's just Audium left on the point while they wait for the rest. Try and stall out for the rest of the team, but that
Should be it. Oh,
Metal Ganado might make it.
Nope,
He
they-
makes it.
they're
It
coming in.
keeps on going. Are they going to be able to win this fight?
They're
Just
gonna
the
be
two
able
of
to get
them waiting for the team.
I don't know. They are pretty staggered. They are very
we-
staggered.
Okay, so it's just Moira Zarya there now, so they're really being able to manage to stagger this one out. The massive
There's a
shatter
power.
comes in though, and that should be it. That's. Oh no, Audium coming in. The stall is real. They just keep on getting it, but unfortunately, they just couldn't get enough players there to hold it together. That's,
Son of Vinegar finally barraged instead of just going on the point, which may have cost them that round.
it was. They might have been able to touch, but at the same time, it's sort of
Yeah.
they were just delaying the inevitable. Really, at that point, they just the spawn timers were longer, so they weren't able to regroup enough to be able to convincingly take that fight back and win the map out.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, so as we're swapping sides, we now have the Widow coming out from Hercules, so that should be very, very interesting to see. And Pride is still running that same tried and true comp. They really want it. They want to see it work, and they're getting some really good team fights from it, and it's working out for them in most cases.
It's just not getting it done though.
Basically, they just need to watch out for Hercules on that Widow, because if Hercules is landing his shots, then it's going to be ridiculous. But we've got to pause at the moment, so we'll just have to hang on a second. So how do you think PPE Ascend's gonna come up against this team comp?
I don't think they'll do the same as what Pride did, but go around the back because that didn't really work for them. So I think they'll just go straight onto the point and just set up there. Set up there.
Sounds like a smart play. Just sort of try and keep Hercules a bit more protected on that Widow, so that he can try and find the picks onto the Pharah and that Mercy.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Alrighty, so the game's now resuming. We've got 20 odd seconds left until we're about to see PPE Esports attack on Junkertown. Okay.
As they come out, let's see if this Widow can get any picks. As she's getting damage boost by the Mercy.
Huge initial pick on the Salt and Vinegar there. Are they going to be able to res that up?
Yeah, they are rezzing it.
Okay, so
Behind cover.
Foxley gets the res, which is really clean, but that means that they burnt their res. So they have to play really carefully. If another one gets picked, that's them done for. There's no coming back from that. As the tanks are fighting in mid, and we've got Hercules up the back. He's hacked at the moment, playing from the low ground. But it's sort of his main job here is just trying to keep Salt and Vinegar in check. There's a tank fight still going on in the middle. We got Latte up on the high ground just trying to deal damage down as Foxley gets the res onto Audium, and it's just an even fight. It's just super prolonged. Hammer comes down from FTS. Braden getting threes. No charge. Gets MT, and we got the hacks coming out as well, so they're up in this fight. Latte gets Salt and Vinegar. Valkyrie comes out from Foxley and is trying to take Hercules in the background, as now we've got Elementic, so both Valkyries coming out, and it's just...
No, just battle Mercy.
Yeah, we got the battle, and FTS Braden takes out Foxley. Should have left it for Elementics. Nothing better than the Valkyrie Mercy 1v1, but...
And they have 5 minutes now just to push it through the market.
Huge time bank. If they keep pushing this cleanly, this should be it. Okay. So as we're coming into the streets phase, we've got Salt and Vinegar changing off that Pharah onto the Hanzo. What do you think that pick's gonna do for him?
I'm hoping that he can get some picks on the Hercules, get rid of the Widow, but then just fire out down some arrows onto like the Reinhardt and the Mercy, try and get rid of the Mercy, because she has been getting some good reses off.
She has. Okay, so on the side of Pride, they've got the Hammer down up, and they've also got Coalescence ready to come through. So be ready for a massive play coming out. But FTS Braden, he's watching for it. He's waiting. He's just hoping for. Here comes the charge. Cancels the shadow with the charge. That is huge. Both tanks are caught down in this tiny little alleyway, and the cleanup will happen. The grav comes out from EMT, but there's not much there. As the rest of the team's still up on the payload, just cleaning them up.
That might have been a wasted grab and shadow there. Now they have no tank ults.
They've got
to move on with the fights.
That was very questionable. Could have been a fat finger, who knows? But that's the cleanup, and we're just pushing through streets phase, coming into the third point. Still a 5-minute time bank. This is going all the way of PPE.
See if Pride can change it around a bit. Try and stop him, slow him down, and prevent him from getting that final cap.
He's hoping for it, because at the moment for Pride, it's just not going their way. They've got Coalescence and EMP coming up, so they might be able to do something with that. But here comes Hammer, and the Hammer down comes out. Doesn't get much, but they take out Metal Gnado anyway. It's a huge play.
Was playing very high up there. Probably wasn't necessary. Just looking for that, especially with the team being behind him.
Yeah. Okay. We got Audium in the background. He's just trying to get the hack off, but is now fighting with a Lucio and teleports out. FTS Braden now he's just trying to command space, but is hiding behind the payload, just jumping over when he needs to swing a couple times, coming back. And Metal Gnado getting charged again. He's playing so aggressively. It seems like his team's just not following up there. And they
may have worked for him this time though.
It definitely worked out for him this time, as they push PPE out, and they're just resetting. They've just taken the early loss and just trying to get out of there.
But they still do have that 3 minutes 42 seconds left to cap that, which is a very, very big amount of time.
It is.
It's much as by himself.
A huge time bank. And they are coming back in. They've got the sound barrier, they've got the EMP, they've got the grab, so that'll be something to watch for. But there's EMP from Latte coming out. That must have been a mistake from there.
That would definitely been a mistake.
Very unfortunate. But Elementix takes out Salt and Vinegar, and it doesn't seem to matter, as Pride's just cleaning them up every step of the way.
They're gonna have to reset.
Foxley getting 2 in that fight, taking out the Lucio and the Zarya. That's unfortunate.
That is
but
a bit of a sad one from that Laufey.
Yeah.
Losing that.
They could have made a lot happen with that EMP, but it's just things happen. Fingers get placed in the wrong spot. As we've got a change on the side of Pride. Audium has changed over to the May, and the Hammer down comes out from FTS Braden. Is he going to be able to clean up with it? Doesn't actually connect with anything. Grab from EMT, gets 4 in the grab.
Doesn't get anything though.
There's just ults coming out from everyone at the moment. FTS Braden's trying to push up on them, but Now it's just Vectrix and Latte chasing down MT, and he's down. They clean up this fight and should push it most of the way. As Pride will get maybe one more team fight in here if they regroup quickly.
They might need a touch soon because it is getting a bit close.
That it is, and the Valk comes out from Foxley just to try and get the initial aggression and the sustain going. As we got FTS and Latte in the background, Metal Ganado gets hacked, and FTS Braden and Vectrix going down. This should be a cleaned up fight, but the grab
The
here
grab
comes
comes
the
in.
grab, and the
here's
dragons.
Grab dragon
Absolutely
huge. That is
huge.
it. That is that round. We are at here.
Huge. That's how to finish a game with a stamp. Just telling them, nope, we're taking Junkertown.
Play of the game.
And that is that Junkertown.
Lot of fat fingered ults that game though, so it's sort of just they were coming out for no reason.
See if they can fix it up for next game.
Hopefully, sort of maybe need to wipe the keyboards down a little bit so they're not slipping over, because they just keeping on wasting ults like that. It's just a shame to see, really.
It is. It's very sad. Could have been a bit different if they didn't use that Sombra ult. Could have got it a bit faster than they did, but
That definitely would have helped out in the last team fight a lot easier. Just being able to EMP everything, then they would have been able to get more done with what they had in the cards.
yeah, that is true.
For our third map, we should be coming into Volskaya. Should be very interesting. Good control map in my opinion. Mostly not liked by a lot of the community, but it's very interesting to watch how people attack this map, because there's a lot to do. What are your thoughts on Volskaya there?
I definitely like the first point. It's just annoying with the second point, where just with the 2 CP, where you just keep on getting respawned the defenders, and the such big defender advantage on the second point. But you just got to deal with that, you know. You just got to get those early picks and just killing them all as they're coming out of spawn.
Yeah, sort of. That's probably the main thing. Just getting your early picks off and just being able to keep the other team under control. Because if the defenders get their regroup on and come back out to the point, it's really hard to sort of retake that and put them all back into spawn if they get 5 coming out.
Yeah,
Just got
it is very hard.
yeah. So we got some substitutions going on. At the moment, what's the score sitting at the moment, Pegma? It's 1-1, isn't it?
I think it's 1-1, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah,
Or is
it's pretty sure it's 1-1. Yeah. So this is sort of gonna be, both teams are gonna be fighting for that map advantage, just to sort of get himself a little bit closer to the W.
Looking for that W, dude.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not gonna, especially getting that advantage from first to 3.
Yeah. So it's a very, very even game though coming out, because it's sort of like they're just the team fights. They're just back and forth every time. Like there's on the last map, it seemed to just be a roll, but then that last point, they like just really started to try and turn it around.
Traveling to
Been a lot of good players coming out.
There's been huge players,
match.
especially with the Pharah and the Zarya.
Yeah,
The grab dragon.
Yeah.
The last map, which won Pride the game.
both teams have been really, for the most part, except for the couple mistakes which happen, which do happen to everybody. We've all had it. They've really been comboing the grabs in the team fights. Like there's not really been a grab which hasn't been at least attempted to capitalize on with something else.
Which is really showing with the communication, helped with the communication, you know.
Okay. So, as we're coming into Volskaya, we have PPE defending, and they're running the same Rein Zarya, Widow, Sombra, Mercy. They've swapped out for the Ana, which they may have run last game. Yes, they did. Yeah, so they should be able to try and keep check on the high ground with the Widow and the Sombra, and then be able to have that massive point control. Whereas Pride's coming in with the Mei, Moira, and Lucio with the triple tank. This should be really interesting. They got a lot of health, a lot of sustain, and they're just going to try and waltz straight onto the point.
First Diva in this game. In
It's
this series.
It was a massive
And they
wall
just-
off by Audium off.
They have
the
just
start.
done that. They have just waltzed onto the point. Without any real contesting from PPE.
PP's
As
starting to bring it
Mesh-
back though. FTS Braden's getting 2 at the moment, and they're just chasing them out.
Metal did just lead the team to go and fight the Mei, which came to pretty much
Yeah.
ruin that team.
Yeah, it was
They had no shield.
they had the right idea. Just PP just turned it on them. They had the positioning. They understood that they were rotating around and just waited for the team to call it, and then they just went in hard on them and put them down.
Worked.
So Metal Ganado gets the early charge, but here comes the shatter from STS Braden getting 3, cleaning
But
up.
Metal Ganado has gone down
It-
and has
Drag-
got this
Dragonflare Brett's back up.
back.
They're just PP is looking so strong on this defense right now. Just the not overusing their ults in that fight, not trying to overdo it, just using the shatter, letting him out. And Hercules popping that infrared, which is going to give them all the information they need early on, which is very useful to show where they're going to sort of come from and if they've made any swaps, which they've swapped out the Mei for the Brig. There should be just classic 3-3, running the goats, trying to push in. When in doubt, goats it out.
That is true. Just see what this Reinhardt does, Metal Ganado, because he has been seen to just play by himself, really.
That is true. Gets a shatter onto 2 of them, but then the EMP coming out from Power Keeper, just sort of keeping it back together. We've got the
Mercy
beat
gets the
drop.
res out. Oh no,
Huh?
no, she doesn't. Never mind. She does
Oof.
not get the res out.
That's unlucky.
That is a 30-second cooldown for her,
That-
and as she just jumps off the map.
That should be the team fight. As Hercules just trying to contest for as long as he can, but gets finally taken down. And so they should full cap this because they're not. PPE isn't going to be able to get their full team back there in time.
They really not.
Okay, so we got 3 ults coming up for the side of PP. So they got that grab, which should be able to. They should be able to clean up with that with the nano boosted onto the Winston. Not the Winston, sorry, the Reinhardt. That should be very interesting. But Pride pushing in, got the rally coming up, so we should be seeing that to just sort of sustain. The shadow goes down straight in the shield, but here's the grab. But FTS Braden gets put down by EMT. The grab gets nothing. Then it's ridiculous. Elementix rezzing FTS Braden in the back line,
So
so
they have-
hopefully he can sort of hold this fight
All
out.
their ults pretty much that they had.
That was a massive bomb taking down Dragonflare in the background, and then we've got EMT's grab coming out just to try and clean this up. Really
They
good
get the
push.
first pick.
They should cap this at this point.
Second.
There's just nobody coming out to be able to recontest.
Oh.
Oh,
Sombra.
we got Sombra taking it for a second, and they just couldn't get there.
With amazing bet time in the bank. If
That's a
PPE
massive
doesn't get it.
spike.
0 to 2. Switching sides.
Still 418.
That's
Initiating match.
that's why you run goats. That's why it's the meta. It really is. You've got that much sustain and that much health where it's so hard to get a pick, and once you do get that pick, if it's sort of you still got 2 other healers there protecting 2 other tanks. So it's just it makes sense why.
You're not really losing much with the DPS. You know?
Especially getting behind that Reinhardt and just pushing him and letting him swing, then that's all the DPS you need. A German man with a big hammer.
And a big piece of light in the way of his the other team. So they are going to run it again just because it worked for them.
They are. So we're going to have PPE running the goats. And we've got Pride swapping on to Hanzo and Farah with the Rein Zarya. So we should hopefully see some big combos coming out. And let's see if they can just get that burst damage in with their DPS to be able to put down this goats comp.
3, 2, 1.
And as we're about to get into the game, they're pushing in, all going through mid. In through the big building. Early fire strike. And let's see what way they're going to go.
And they're
Here
just going
comes.
past the car and straight onto the point like Pride did.
Ooh. FTS Braden, huge charge. He's on his way to second point. He's got that much faith. He knows that they're capping it here as he's just trying to fight the whole team. The one-man army, he gets taken down, but they've almost got two ticks.
They're just trickling. Oh no, they're all grouped up there.
Okay, so Zarya's been sort of corralled back into the mega, but they're not dealing with the supports in the back. Dragonflare takes down Metal Ganado, but the res comes off in the middle of the point. Massive shatter for here. Oh, dude, that's just beautiful. That was a massive retake on that fight.
And that was amazing. That did help him massively to bring it back.
That shadow just saves that point for his team.
2:30 left on the clock. See if they can do anything with this. They should be able to. They only need a tick.
On the
Just do the same as they did before.
one tick should, if go either way. But here comes the shadow from FTS Braden, getting 3, but Coalescence trying to hold it up.
And Valkyrie used, so they've used both their support ults. And now the Zarya ult, so they're just committing everything into this fight now.
They really do not want them taking this point right here.
It's good to see that PPE just did not commit any ults to that apart from that shadow, which you can get really back real quick. As seen where he's already got 46%.
That was really disciplined of them not to just invest everything, which it happens a lot. Like people will just overcommit to a lost fight, and then you've got to try and rebuild your entire ult economy for the next one. Where on the side of Pride, they're coming in and they've got a shadow coming up, and they've got the barrage. So, and then on the side of PPE, they're coming in an initial rally, trying to get that armor up. Huge takedown on Metal Ganado, and then here comes the bomb. Not getting anything, but they should. Dragonflare gets the remake, and the Matrix coming out from Dragonflare, just shutting down Salt Vinegar's ult. Audium trying to get the Reaper, Death Blossom coming out. Nothing's just going through for him at the moment. Dragonflare on that Diva is just knowing what to defense Matrix and where. Just awareness of a god right now. But it's still even pickings as Salt Vinegar takes down Power Keeper. Fresh Eggs is coming back in and trying to do as much as they can. Metal Ganado about to start swinging with no shield. Gets the charge onto Elementix. That's one more down. They may hold this out for another fight. Huge block from FTS Braden.
Yeah, huge block, amazing block. Get rid of that.
And PPE are just going to have to reset. Something's not working out with this comp, and it's just, are they going to change it up?
I don't think they have enough time. I do not believe they have enough time to change it up now. They've left it too late.
So they've changed into the Widowmaker, which is interesting at this point, but they've really got to try and shut down Salt and Vinegar in the sky. Because he's already got another
Will they be able to touch
barrage.
Yep, they will. Okay.
Very risky charge coming in, but both grabs coming out. And here comes the coalescence from Fresh Eggs, just trying to sustain the team up a bit more as FTS Braden is going down to Audium, same as Vectrix, as we got Metal Ganado just dealing damage in the background, taking out that mech, Fresh Eggs getting Power Keeper.
All the squishies are just left. They're all just gonna get melted here.
That's
David does get a
huge.
ult back.
And there we go, that's it, that's all she wrote. Huge
So-
defense from Pride. They're just stopping every push they tried to get in. Just knowing when to ult. That's good Overwatch.
of the game.
Oh, Mercy or the Poggers.
Nothing better than a Mercy play of the game. It's either they press E and then just click around, or they're getting a 5k. There's no in between.
If you're not getting that, you're not getting a play of the game as Mercy.
Exactly.
Which you would want. What you would want. I would hope that Mercy's very happy with herself there, getting that play of the game.
It should be. That was
Very
well
reassuring when
well
you-
deserved.
That bullying with the Diva is just shouldn't be accepted.
Oh.
Should not be accepted.
So how do you think this is going at the moment for PPE? It just got stopped.
It's just falling down for them. See if they can change it up on Blizzard World, otherwise it's all over for them.
It is.
They would hope that they are gonna change it up for Blizzard World, otherwise they are out of here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to game 5.
Hopefully we go to a game 5 because this has been a really, really close match between both teams. Like, it's really nice to watch because it's just each map it's been one team's been doing really well, and the next map, like it's the fights just they're all over the place, and it's great.
Back and forward, back and forward.
So what are your thoughts on Blizzard World? One of the newer maps in the game.
Well, the first point is obviously attacking orientated, but it just goes to a bit of a thing from there. Just a more balanced map from there.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. The first point is it's a lot closer for the attackers, but at the same time it can be tricky to push in because you haven't got that many directions which you can really go. It's no Hanamura, but it's still you've got basically inside of the shop or just straight down main.
But yeah, and also especially with the point as well with the front guard. In the front, you have to go from the two sides.
Yeah.
Just go straight in, which is good.
It is good. 'Cause it's sort of not only does it's useful for both sides, is it sort of corrals them one way or the other on the defense, but on the attack side, it gives you a giant basically pillar which you can hide behind and regroup with your team.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Blizzard World. Initiating match.
Any predictions from what you've seen here? What the teams you think will run?
They're just gonna run the conventional runs out with the how they've been doing for every other map except for Volskaya.
Ready for
It's
battle.
seeming like
I
that.
believe
They know what they play and they know what they play well.
It just depends on what the DPS they choose,
That is
which they are
But-
starting right now,
they're really sticking to what they know.
Attackers
which is good. Well, you don't want to change it up while you're midway through
That's
play
like
characters you haven't played before. Midway
you
through
don't want to go on a brand new hero for the first game being this competitive. So we've got Pride coming in on the attack, running the classic goats, just swapping their healers around a lot. No Moira, but we've got the Anna and Lucio, and then on the side of PPE, we have just the Ryan Zarya, Anna, Mercy, and Sombro Hanzo. They're really just wanting to run the same stuff, which they know has been working for them.
They are going to go up top and drop down. And PPE were not expecting that. They had to change it up a bit, change over.
Okay, so the team fight's just breaking out, and they're pushing behind as Foxley on that brig is just trying to take it to beat boot, but gets taken out by Vectrix. The fight's just absolute chaos here. This is
Reinhardt just swinging his shield and
the shadow gets blocked. That's massive on the side of Pride, just taking down Beat Boop's ult like that.
Meshel is now slept and he is very low, very low.
Coalescence coming out from Escort, just trying to keep the rest of their team up so that they can just push back against this comp. The Nano Boost comes out into Beat Boop, which gets blocked by Foxley in the charge there, but just shatters everyone anyway. It's like, okay, Brig, I'll just do whatever I want. Okay, but Beat Boop going down to Foxley, and the kills just coming out everywhere. Latte getting half the team with the EMP.
This might be PPE's point here over. Wait, what am I thinking? Never mind.
Huge cleanup shatter from Metal Gando, taking out the last two. This is at least a tick. They're wanting this point, and they're playing goats to get it. PP is going to have to change something up here to be able to fight back against this goats comp.
Otherwise, they're just going to push it through and get to the last point in no time.
They have got the Grav Dragon coming up though, so that's if they land this, it will be huge because of how tight they have to play for this goats to work.
See what they could do with this team fight here, PPE. Otherwise, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board again. See what they can conjure up. Grav has been used.
Massive.
Grav, that only got one though. Only did get one, which was.
Gets Audium and the DMAC on Salt and Vinegar. Just out of range for that to fully really get all it needed to get. As PPE just backing out, they're having to pull back. The Grav comes out from EMP, and
the car was just nearly left there,
pushing them back into spawners. Just a wrecking as Beat Boop shatters, gets two. They're going in for the retake. They want this fight back. They want to stop them here and now.
Brigade ult used.
The Nano comes out on a Beat Boop. They're investing a lot into this fight just to try and
even though they've already won
in the game.
Already won that team fight, but they just used a boost.
So we've got another dragon ready for Hercules, and they've got Latte with the EMP coming up. So if they should be able to combo that into something nice. Latte is just trying to get some early information, relay back to the team where that's all going to come from. And Pride's just trying to regroup, trying to get their bearings and get ready to go back in for a huge push with those 3 ults they've got coming up.
It looks like they're going to go around behind and try and get a.
Gonna try and drop down on behind them.
Yeah, drop behind. Trying to get a bit of a shock value, and they have not seen that one coming, I don't think. Somehow. Okay,
so Dragonflare's gonna drop this Grav soon, I'd say. It's gonna be. There's the EMP. Are they gonna try and combo it here? There it is.
Oh, there's
massive
the
Grav and Hercules with the dragon.
Oh,
that's how you do it. That's a
huge.
4K
that is huge.
coming out.
That is massive. A huge Grav.
Elementix getting the res on the Beat Boot. They took the fight back. They're saying nope. We're holding it here.
Put the brakes on. Put the brakes on. Stop them.
That's great communication. They used 4 ults there, but they definitely stopped that push. It makes up for the last combo which they had. They said, look, that was a fluke. Here it is now. This is what's happening.
Now they just have the reset.
So, as we've got Pride coming back in, they do have 3 ults online. In early bomb going out, trying to get the Shadow Bomb, gets Vectrix
Got
out,
someone. 2 picks.
EMT taking out B-Boop. Like, the
3
kills
now.
are just back and forth all over the place. It's great to see this brawly of a game coming out this far in. It's just amazing as PPE are trying to get back into the fight. Just to try, they gotta stop it here, as B Group gets massive charge onto Salt and Vinegar up top.
Zarya does go in.
The Shatter comes out, gets 3. F Scott goes down, but Audium cleans it up, and the res comes out. The nano on the dragon. One-man combo. EMT is just deciding that they doesn't want Dragonflare to play the game anymore after they get nano boosted.
That is it, Chief. That is definitely it.
And it is. And now we're just starting to push the cart through into the 3rd point, which should really work well for this Goats comp. There's a little bit of high ground, but it's so close in they can just dive on whoever they want. But they've swapped off it. I was not paying attention. They've gone back to the Hanzo Pharah, which should be interesting to see how Salt and Vinegar tries to control this space, as there's a lot of high ground for Audium and Hercules on those Hanzos.
As they continue to push it.
Both Valkyries coming out at that point. They're very early on both sides. Elementix is resing up Hercules in the back as Foxley gets the kill onto Latte. So they're up 1, and they've got the Coalescence coming online for F Scott here, which if things start getting cheeky, there it is, coming out, trying to do a bit of damage, trying to sustain up on Metal Ganado. The Shatter stopping it in its tracks as the nano boost on top. Massive shield coming out from EMT just to keep F Scott alive. And they're pushing back. Bebop's on 1, but the F Scott's not getting out of there. Pride's gonna have to regroup for this fight. Insane hold, and only using 2 ults there.
32 seconds left. See if they'll be able to touch this before time runs out.
EMT is going to be close to another grab though, and PPE just doesn't have the sustain there, like the support ult to be able to hold it. And there's Dragonflare coming out with a grab, getting the dragon, but doesn't get anything with the dragon, but they clean up very nicely. 10 seconds.
Valkyrie are they going to try and get point?
They're going to get back in. Also just trying to frag, but Beeboop just shutting it down with the Fire Strike into the air, taking down the Moth. And Desperation Dragon from Audium, but it just wasn't enough to get anybody.
They still... Huge... Oh, no.
Huge Shadow gets taken out. Oof. There's a grab gets 3, but there's just no follow-up for it, and Beatboop getting the Shadow onto the last 2. Foxley coming back in for the stall, and Audium over onto the Lucio just to try and get there as fast, but everything's cleaned up, and that should be the game.
That is round. Let's see what they can hold. See if they can hold this Pride. I mean, go. Yeah.
They're gonna have to pull something out, because the teamwork coming out at the moment from PPE, it's just really nice. They're working really closely as a team.
Just see what their attack can do, because that was they haven't really been doing well in attack. Their defense has been pretty good, just not their attack.
It's looking like Pride's just going to keep on running Salt and Vinegar on that Pharah and running the Pharmacy. We've got Audium swapping over to Reaper just to try and sort of deal with those, try and proactively get something to put against that Goats comp. Whereas PPE, they're looking as though they're going to try and run dive into this with the Pharah Sombra. So trying to get some hacks off, Beatboop just jumping into the back line with Dragonflare following them up. If this works out for them, this will be amazing. There should be some really good communication, teamwork coming from them, as we've been seeing. Wouldn't you agree, Pegma?
I very much agree. It's pretty good. see what they can do here. Not running the goats because it didn't really work for them last time.
It,
For PPE, it didn't work for them on Volskaya, so let's see what they can do here.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
So they're
Let's-
running dive instead, aren't they?
okay. So they've gone in through the left side, hanging out of that mega, just waiting for Latte to give them the calls of where they're set up, see where they can push in. As all of Pride seems to be set up behind the point, just waiting for them to push on in that goats. Here comes a dive, hack onto the Reaper, and Dragonflare already demech. Just getting that close to that Reaper and that brawly of a comp, it's just not going to go well for you. Foxley does get taken down, but they're going to sustain this. They're going to work this one out. Pride, they're just getting the res up. EMTs just trying to deal with the airborne targets.
Sort of Vinegar going up trying to get the pick on Hercules.
The Ferragil coming out, and see who comes out on top in this. They're both deciding to give up on it and just go back to their respective teams. Call it a day on that duel, which we should see a few more of those coming out. Just which Fer is going to wind up with aerial dominance in this first point.
I'm thinking Salt and Vinegar here because pretty epic.
So we've got PPE trying to come behind as Salt and Vinegar's being distracted a lot by Hercules in the sky and that other pharmacy as they've pushed in. Beat Boop trying to take this, trying to command the point, but gets taken down by Audium.
Both Reinhardts are out and they both get rezzed. Pretty much simultaneously. And Shatter huge Shatter, that is huge.
Absolutely massive. That Shatter should hold him the point there, but in comes the charge from Beat Boop off the map. Goodbye, Audium. I hope you've brought your floaties. They're regrouping anyway.
He has gone back to the afterlife.
It's all over. Reaper got reaped. As Pride's just setting back up on behind the point where they've had so much success here because it's hard for PPE to get around here and be able to put the pressure on them in that tight spot.
Hercules coming back to
massive sleep from Foxley from downtown. Ooh. That was huge. GMP comes out, Shatter comes out, only getting Metal Ganado. Here comes the Farah ult from Hercules, finishing off him, but he was nano boosted, so that's a scary target. And there comes 4-man grab. Nothing to follow it up with. That's a shame. F Scott going for the res, doesn't get it off, and Audium taken down. They're capping this point. They're not out yet. This is a very close game as Latte gets taken down by Salt and Vinegar, just overextended a little bit too much. Wow. They're coming into this next fight. Salt and Vinegar and Audium both having ult, and Vectrix their only ult coming on the side of PPE is Vectrix's down barrier. So he's going to have to be really careful using this one. Doesn't have to worry about the EMP shutting it down, but it's the only ultimate they've got coming into both DPS ults on the side of Pride. It's just sort of a matter of figuring out which one's going to be more important to block. This fight's breaking out here. Metal Gandu going down by Latte as Oxley gets rezzed up by F Scott, but F Scott taken out by Latte again. Here comes the Death Blossom from Audium, taking out Vectrix, so there goes the down barrier came out as well.
Beep just clears him off. No, it was Dragonflare that just cleaned him off, and the res comes on for Lucio. So that Blossom pretty much was useless, you could say.
The Shatter blocked by Metal Ganado. That was very, very huge for his team, stopping this push in its tracks, as they're
cleaning up now,
cleaning up and pushing him out. And
Vectrix will get back, I would believe.
I will not waste
still,
this opportunity.
they still have Shatter and that barrage to use. But on the side of PPE, they've got their barrage ready to combo with with the grab, that'll be something to watch. That's gonna pop off huge because there's nothing really for Pride to block this grab with. Okay, so the fight's starting out. There's the grab, but doesn't get anything from Dragon Flare. That's unfortunate. Beat Boot cleaning up EMT, Foxley getting Latte. So it's the fight's just turning into an absolute brawl. But PPE still managing to come back on top.
So they get that point and are looking to just push it straight onto that target, onto that checkpoint.
Beat Boot playing up, trying to get up aggressively and just make space for his team, which is just trying to get them through that initial ramp without any contention. We got some Vinegar coming in this pharmacy duel, but gets taken down by Hercules. So Hercules got free reign of the sky at the moment, and here comes the barrage, takes out EMT and Metal Ganado. That's massive.
Charged in there. I don't know why he did that. He charged in to try and get something. So you have to reset here.
Foxley goes down, so it's just Salt and Vinegar. They're trying to deal some damage and get a pick for his team, but taken out by Hercules. Hercules just dominating on this Pharaoh at this point. It's great to see. The grab comes out from EMT, but doesn't get anyone. There's massive EMP from Latte getting the entire team. Metal Ganado sitting on 1 health. Vextrix comes out with the sound barrier just to keep the sustain on the team while we have Foxley dropping that coalescence. It's just a battle of who can hold on longer. The barrage comes out.
PPE. Oh, hold on.
The barrage comes out and Salt Vinegar shutting it down, then dropping a barrage of his own, getting Vectrix, but they're just passing, trading kills backwards and forwards as Elementrix gets the res onto Vectrix.
And that should be that game.
There goes the battle. There we go. It's back and forth that entire map.
Play of the game.
It was definitely that change off the dive pop straight away from PPE that helped them get that.
Definitely, that was 100% the right call. Just immediately realizing that they're playing that brawly, they're hiding behind the point. Dive wasn't going to work into that.
So hopefully they can make a quick change like this again, so they can win the game. Or will it be Pride taking out the last game?
At this point, it's anybody's game. Both teams are playing really well. They're working together. They're making the changes on the fly as they need to, and they're playing as a team, and it's really good to see.
It's definitely, you can see the difference in the tanks, you know.
Yeah.
With the Reinhardt staying with the team in beat boot, but like Metal Dorado Ganado just going up by himself, looking for those solo kills. Don't worry about the team, what they do. Just kill all the noobs how he wants them, you know.
But both Ryan's playing very aggressively, which it's very good. I love seeing an aggressive Reinhardt. There's just nothing better than it. But you've just got to be able to pick when you've got to play aggressively and when you've sort of got to sit with the team. That's the biggest thing, because an aggressive Reinhardt can win a game, but it's also can completely lose it for the whole team. And it's just those split second decisions which can change everything.
Yeah, win or lose you the team fight. What game are we going into now? What map?
Not sure. I think we're just organizing some substitutions going on, and getting our two teams ready.
Still, and it is on Ilio, so looking for those fat boops from
It should
Lighthouse.
should be a good game coming into Ilios. Should hopefully see a few boop kills. Should see everything coming out on this map. Many different comps work here. It'll be a great thing to see. See who's going to try and play just to get people in the well. That's what everybody wants to see. That well map.
That is the real question.
But alas, we don't get it just yet. We're starting off on Ruin. Very close quarters map. Ruins is, with the point being down below, like in a lower level. So sort of, you get some very good high ground. Should hope we might even see a Widow battle, but I don't think it'll come out. Be nice to see. What do you think of these team comps they've got going on at the moment here?
I think they're gonna go with a dive again, obviously, which is pretty smart. Hopefully they can capitalize on the dive this time.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really work for him last time, PPE. But with as he just gets a goal in the hoop, pretty good
Very
ratio.
What
But with Pride just going with the normal comp, just staying with what they know, which has worked for them, winning in the 2 games.
They are sticking to what they know, and it I don't blame them. It's working so well for them.
Nearly a quick pick from the Widow to the Mercy, but was just able to stay alive.
Hercules just laying down some damage from the back line, just trying to see what he can knock off. As the fight's coming out, got Beat Boop just on the point. He's down already to Metal Ganado. Metal Ganado just asserting dominance as that Reinhardt on the point, where the Winston just doesn't stand up in that fight.
They do get the early advantage by capping that, but let's see if they can hold on to it and maintain that.
Okay, Beat Boop diving in, getting Salt and Vinegar out of the sky, just grounding that Pharah completely. As they're just trying to create themselves some space on this point. PPE, they're trying to funnel, like they're funneling them into the back, and then they're moving back out. They're focusing so hard on this front line, and
has been used. Now Hammer down used for a
that's Shadow from Ganado trying to take down the team, but just gets hacked, so wasn't able to follow up on it too hard. And we got EMT just 100 charge, just trying to do as much damage as can. The Diva Bomb is blocked, and out comes the Primal Rage from Beat Boop. Gets one, gets two, and then dives onto EMT. Just they're cleaning up. The early take didn't work out for Pride. Salt and Vinegar getting staggered out. He still hadn't capped it. Oof.
That could have been a bit devastating though.
That it could have. If they had forgotten if they hadn't gotten on that much earlier, then that would have been it. So we've got some Vinegar swapping off of the Ferret, going onto the Diva just to try and help keep Achilles in check for his team, and so that EMT can sort of be a bit more damagey on the point. They're dropping behind the point as the Diva. This Beat Boop dives straight onto Hercules in the back, followed up by Daddy McCree.
Metal just gets absolutely annihilated by that Diva.
The Audium coming up with it. There goes the EMP into the grab, gets 3, gets 4.
And the point transitions once again.
That's the team fight done. This map has been extremely even. There's not much closer than it can be. So we've got Vectrix and Daddy McCree coming in with 2 ults, and only Salt and Vinegar's got his Diva Bomb ready. Hercules using the sites early. They have full advantage here, knowing exactly where everyone is. And in comes the bomb from Daddy McCree. Doesn't get anybody.
Probably put it a bit too high there.
Little too high, but that's okay. As we got Salt and Vinegar going down as well. They're cleaning up this team fight. We might even see another swap on this point. There it is. These two teams that close together. It's too hard to tell what's going to happen each team fight. It's just back and forwards.
Back and forward. It's not. It's just they keep on changing.
So we got Audium swapping onto the Reaper, and we got EMT going to that Soldier 76. So they're just trying to get a bit more damage onto the point, trying to shut down Daddy McCree and Beat Boot with these dives they've been getting off, because they're managing to get the picks they need. Beat Boop dives straight into the whole team. Out comes the Primal Rage, just trying to sustain, push people back, get the crowd control going. But Vectrix taken down by Salt and Vinegar. So they have the advantage here in this fight, and they're just going to keep on pushing onto it. As Latte having to translocate out, Elementrix is low, gets put down by Metal Ganado, and Beat Boop's jumping out.
Looks like there's going to be another change here.
Danny McCree, last one. Here comes the bomb just to try and get something. Wait for his team,
There's
but
another change.
It's swapped back 99 to 92, and out comes the EMP from Latte. Beat Boot back, Danny McCree demeched. So they're really trying to just make this a scrappy fight. 99-99. Are they going to be able to retake for PPE, or is this going to be Pride's point? Vectrix comes out.
Let's see if they can bring it out.
Elementrix tries to go for the res, gets taken out. Vectrix taken down. Hercules trying to stall out as hard as he can, but there's too many bodies on the point. Audium just using that Death Blossom to stop Latte, just holding up a big sign saying no vacancy.
Stay out of my house.
Yeah, this is our point. You don't get to come here.
It was like a rental property there. Just kept on going from one owner to another.
And it was. So now we get to see what everyone who plays Ilios wants to see. We get to see well. We've got
two Roadhogs.
Both going to be looking for some massive hooks into the point.
We got the Lucio on PPE, but
PPE is just going this 100% boot comp. They want people in the well. That's their goal right here. Where Salt and Vinegar, not Salt and Vinegar, Pride running Salt and Vinegar on that Soldier 76, going to be trying to shut down the Pharaoh. They've got the dive comp coming in with the Roadhog, so triple tank. They're just not worrying.
Oh, I guess yeah.
That's the big question. Foxley and F Scott are gonna have to do a lot of work here. Even though Audium can heal himself, there's a lot of burst. So
just try and use that
PPE just playing off the point, just to the back, trying to make sure that they can hold their space, but letting Pride almost just easily just free cap, and Latte gets hooked into the well. He's out of here. Good night. This is the early advantage coming in for Pride, and Hercules with the barrage getting EMT, but the kills are being passed backwards and forwards. EMT raised back up, and they should be able to. There's the Remac as well. Foxley asleep in front of the tanks, but they can't do much about it because there's too many bodies all pointing at PPE all at once for them to really be able to focus down in a kill. And there goes Beat Boop straight down the well again. Daddy McCree getting EMT in there. The whole hog coming out while nano boosted. This is going to be the point turned around.
We'll just see how long they stagger it for, just so they get. Oh, they did just.
I'm going to get taken out Hercules. That was a massive hack coming out from Latte. That's stopping most of Pride's chances, but EMT back. They're really trying to hold on to this capture percent for as long as they can.
And they're all coming back.
Out comes the supercharger from Beat Boop. There's the hook onto the Winston, but Primal Rage slept. The crowd control. It's everywhere. Beat Boop trying to get Daddy McCree off, but gets finally taken down by Vectrix. And
we'll just have to reset here because they're just wasting ults.
they're just staggering themselves out and wasting ults, as you said. They need a full reset. Sort of, it's good. It's good that
they got their
yeah, go on.
72%. They got their 72%, and like without that PPE like capping it.
It was a massive stall. It was. But was it worth the amount of ults they invested into that stall?
Probably not. Probably
Thanks
not.
for the assist.
You still have got the two tank ults and like Mercy ult coming back 50 at the moment.
They do have both DPS ults coming in, but they've also got to contest with the Diva Bomb and the whole hog coming out from the side of Pride, which they can just funnel them either way. If they combo this well, it should be a team winning fight. But there goes Beat Boop. That's already initial pick. If they push hard on this, there's the whole hog coming out from that M3. There's all the ults just coming out. They want this.
That was huge from Hercules. That was huge. They're gonna have to reset.
Hercules going massive. That was a 3k with the barrage. That's just asserting the aerial dominance onto this team, where Salt and Vinegar's just not really being able to contest it as much with that Soldier 76 because of this huge pocket coming from Elementix.
My ultimate is almost charged.
As they go the same way as they did before, see if it can work from this time.
Just trying to play that back of the point, trying to stay out of the open wire. So Salt and Vinegar drops attack visor, gets Hercules. Metal Ganado drops
two quick
up.
picks.
Salt and Vinegar does get hacked though, so that's keep stopping him from much. Audium gets slept on the point, but they flip it back. This game, this Ilios map, both these teams are just swapping it backwards and forwards. Neither one of them wants to get this L. They want to take the W. They've got four ults on the side of Pride coming in, whereas PPE only have that Supercharger and that Nano Boost. But Supercharger and Nano Boost added together, that's a lot of damage going to be coming out.
Let's see if they can just zone him out of here.
There we
As
go.
Dave is brought in behind. This could be huge. This could be amazing. That was huge.
Gets the Supercharger and the Orisa. Hercules frags back with Foxley. But the kill feeds. Kill feeds all red.
Her shield was behind her, and she just stood in front of it.
That's the game. Pride winning it out. Both teams played really well on that map.
Very, very even.
It was a joy to watch. It was just the fights were just back and forth the whole time. There was no clear winner for the majority of that map. GG's all around. So what do you got to say about that map? That was like that game. It's just huge.
It was very they just kept on going from one person to another, and it was pretty big. A pretty big match. Very balanced match up there, which made a very good game.
That did. It was super evenly matched, which just means that both these teams were playing on point. And there's not much more you can ask for, really.
Which, that is true. You can't ask for any more than you have already done.
And just there was no toxicity in their game. There was no tactical crouches. They seemed like both teams really enjoyed the game, especially in the match chat afterwards. All friendly.
Which is always good. What you want to see. You want to see them like congratulating each other, even though they may have lost.
Yeah.
Because I know they can just change it up because they are versing each other again next week. So hopefully PPE can change it up and find a better way and just win it this time. Next time.
Hopefully. I would love to see a rematch between these two teams because they were that close. They play play each other again, and I could see it being a totally different story, just knowing what they're going to be going up against.
Yeah. That
So
was.
that's. Yep, go on. Sorry.
That is it. That is it. All the games. Epic gamer style.
3-2 to Pride. So just showing how close that game actually was.
Had to go to the 5th map, being Elios.
Which
And
nothing better than getting a match which goes to that 5th map, because everyone just gets super hungry for the win. They want it bad.
that is true. That is true. Hopefully they can really change it up.
Yeah, like the. Go on, sorry.
No, you go. You go.
Yes, basically the comps the teams played, they played really well together. There's just a couple of times where things didn't go the way they would have wanted them to, and but outside of that, both teams playing their hearts out, wanting the W, but only one team can win, and that was Pride.
That was definitely Pride.